back to Yoga with Sarah Ford, and today is a bonus video about transitioning from downward facing dog to a runner's lunge. This is a very common transition between poses, so I wanted to break it down because it can be a little tricky finding out how to get that movement to be smooth. So we'll start in downward facing dog. We've already gone through this pose in the beginner series, so I can link it in the description below. But starting with this pose, a way to transition into runner's lunge from here is typically we think about inhaling that right foot up, giving a little length in here. On the exhale, we're going to start to shift our body forward, like coming into a high plank, and we're moving our lengthened leg to the front as well, bending the knee and then placing that foot between the hands. And then from here, making any adjustments you need to in runner's lunge. So that is the movement. And it can be really tricky at first if you're not used to going through this movement. It can be really tricky because the upper part of the body tends to get in the way of our knees, and we have to lengthen up a bit to make room for this leg. And so just take some practice, and I recommend going slower, moving mindfully with this movement, bending that knee, thinking about going in between the hands, and then placing the foot. And I find myself kind of creating a space by leaning more towards one arm as the foot comes through. So we're bending the knee, and then as I make way for this leg to plant, I shift slightly over, bringing this hand up, plant the foot, and then readjust my runner's lunge. And this can take a lot of time, as I said, so going through that pose slowly will not only help you get that transition smoother, it also helps with your muscles and strengthening that movement. So I hope that helps and kind of breaks down what's happening as we're moving from one position in a completely other direction to facing forward with one leg in front of us, and what that movement kind of looks like. It does take practice, it does take some getting used to and what that feels like in your body, but just give it a practice, give it a shot, and at some point it'll start to feel more natural and easier to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it some practice transitions, and I'll see you again in our beginner series on Sundays.